Allie's gonna join us.
Okay. Meeting is now live on YouTube.
Live on YouTube.
I love that it says Nancy Stanger every time.
I know, me too. So here we are. I guess we're live on YouTube. This is our first time doing
Allie's
this.
gonna join
Oh gosh,
us.
I gotta turn.
What's
Okay,
happening?
how do I turn
I
on
see.
volume on this? Now I'm getting. Okay, so yeah. Oh, what up? Long time no see.
Yeah, good to see you again, finally.
I know.
Hi, friend.
Desperately.
How do I find this video? On
Popped up
YouTube?
on mine. 2 people watching. So I just want to make sure I can see the comments.
I know, that's what I'm looking for too.
So this is our first time testing this out, folks. So give us a second to kind of acclimate.
I'm just trying to find it on our own channel.
Here, I'll
Will you link me?
yeah, I'll link you. If I chat it. This is our first ever Talkback, and we're just getting the hello. We're just getting all of the technology sorted. We are live on YouTube. We've got 16 people watching. Maybe we should post this link on our Facebook.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Um,
Probably a good idea.
All right, and we're
happening now.
20 seconds behind, right? Ahead?
Yeah, so there's going to be a 20-second delay. Dewey just licked my cheese. Not a sexual thing.
Not a second.
Yeah, we'll keep it in the neutral space.
I
Cool.
told Justin 2 minutes ago, so he forgot, I'm sure.
Cool.
Mhm.
Great.
So I'll remind him.
So I just want to make sure we have it up so that we can see. Okay, I'm seeing the live comments. Great. So I have them on the side here. So yeah, wonderful. We're here with Yuri Baranovsky, Ryan Stanger, who plays Frodo, B Squid, our amazing musical artist, and Dashiell Reinhardt, who puts all of our bullshit together and turns it into amazing. And then Brilliant.
And we're still waiting for Justin and Daniela. I'm gonna bug them again.
And Dewey. This is Dewey. So we're here, and yeah, we just wanted to do a little talk back because we've kind of figured out this technology a little bit. And if you've got any questions, I can see them on the chat. There's a 20-second delay, so keep that in mind. I'm gonna add, we just got a new guest. But okay, we got a new guest that looks like a little face.
I'm trying to figure out.
First question is probably the most important, and that is, why does Frodo have a mustache?
Well, I think we have to save that for the episode.
Hey guys. Hey Ryan.
What's up, dude? Good to see you,
buddy?
man. Long time no see.
I know, seriously, man. You look good, digging the stash.
Oh, yeah, well.
It's the biggest topic of conversation.
It's polarizing.
I'm getting a call.
Oh.
Okay, you can answer it. But Donnie should click the Zoom link that I emailed.
My hair is not like
Hello?
Ryan quarantine hair, which is what I'm
Oh,
calling
Ryan.
it.
I am. Are you?
Oh, here she is.
Ryan could start an adult boy.
Oh, okay. I'm already on here. Where are you?
She's getting let in right now.
Oh, okay. Got it.
There's
This is
Donnie.
working.
We're doing it.
Right.
It's
There
happening.
she is. All right. Do I need to stay on the phone with you, Donnie?
Allie, what are you eating?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Nice. That's a solid looking sandwich.
That looks great.
My favorite YouTube question right now is, why does Frodo look like baby Aquaman? I don't know what it means. But
Can you answer that, please, Ryan?
Please.
Here's a weird connection to Aquaman. I did this bit on the Conan show where I played Aquaman, and and apologies for being gross, but I kind of JO in that bit too.
You're always wanking it on
Yeah.
camera.
it's like you just got that face.
Are you?
People are like, we need someone to jerk
This is
off on
the
this.
thing.
Are you doing it?
Yeah.
Are you doing it now?
I'm jerking off now.
Oh,
Yeah. So that could be what it is. I'm never not doing it.
Well, you got to stay on brand.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, like one thing you're good at, one thing you've been practicing since you're young, and you just stay with it. No, I did this thing. I'll send it to you guys at some. I'll send it to you at some point. It's crazy. Aquaman jerk off thing. So that might be why I look like baby Aquaman. Maybe.
Yeah, that's probably correct.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to.
Donnie, there's some requests for you to say pesto.
Pesto. It's pesto.
That's not what was requested.
Do you want to explain?
Okay, so I'm Genovese Italian, and that is where pesto comes from. And my whole life, my whole life I had to correct everybody in the United States for saying pesto. It's not that way. That's not the way that you say it. And I literally did this just now. Totally.
Right.
Maron.
It's not the way you say it in Italy. Right, I get it.
Yeah, it's not. Wait, what did you say, Justin?
Do you make pesto at home?
I do. Do you guys want to see how I make it?
Yes.
Okay, I'll show you.
Oh no! Wait, the whole.
What?
She's
Start to finish.
I don't know.
I'm hungry.
Not doing.
This conversation with the creators has been hijacked to be a pesto demonstration.
I make it the old school way with a mortar
I'm
and
really
pestle.
glad to know that it's not.
Oh, that's pretty.
Wow.
That's the way that we do it. We take it and then you take this. You have to do it in a certain, you have to do first the leaves and then you have to take rock salt so that it breaks everything up. And that's the way that it's done.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so
I think I used one of those, Donnie, when we went to Miwok Park and they showed us how the Indians made corn.
Yeah, it's a mortar. In Italian, you call it a mortaio. But yeah, it's.
So wait, you're saying that you say something, you call it something different when you're in Italy as opposed to when you're in United
Now a
States?
good
Is
time
that what you're
for
saying?
everybody that Justin and I grew up together. Justin and I have known each other since we were 12.
well, let's introduce everyone.
Oh, okay, great.
Oh, I'm sorry, Yuri. Did you want to direct this Zoom?
Ooh,
I
wow.
mean, it's spinning out of control.
Okay, direct.
Well, I guess we introduced everyone except Justin,
What?
who is the cinematographer and shot the original two, and then this as much as he can shoot things.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just in case this is viewed over and over again, I gotta say the prequel Blind Girl, that was split. Gray shot a portion of that.
That's right.
Gray,
That's right.
Gray Morrison, my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shot the last segment.
I believe you for 0.5 seconds.
Yeah. You did?
I did. I was like,
Yeah.
really?
But that is his last name, Gray Morrison.
Yeah. And
we only hire DPs with Morrison as a last name.
Exactly. It's a really difficult to fill up spots.
She's cleaning her kitchen.
I like that Allie's just cleaning in the background.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like lazy. I need to go clean now. I'm like, oh man.
What'd you say, Allie?
I just became painfully aware of my kitchen mess, so I just wanted to
So since we're talking about this episode, I guess let's just talk about how why did we do
Wait,
this?
Yuri,
Wait, did everybody introduce themselves already? Was I late?
I ask myself that every morning. Why did we do this? Why did we do this?
We did introduce everyone. You came in
Okay.
late, and I mean
Okay.
everyone knows who Donnie is, obviously. And
Got it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I don't really film everything because everybody's alone, but I did film that last shot. And I don't know, Mark, did you check your camera and see the behind the scenes footage of us doing that crazy?
I forgot to look
You should look.
because it died during that.
Look.
Right. Well, we got the full first take, and then the second take, I think it died halfway through. So you might want to look. It's me swinging the pole around outside their house.
Don't look at that.
We shot a little behind the
Swing
scenes.
this pole
footage
around all
of
the
it.
time.
well, that's for the episode 2 talkback,
Oh, yeah.
Ah,
if we use it.
got it.
Justin starts crying.
So we started doing this because we were like, I mean, this whole thing was so crazy, and we wanted to make something because we were all dying a little inside, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And
now we're dying again, but in a different way.
in like in a fun way.
Like, why won't my technology work? It's really hard to shoot from a
Right.
bunch
We've
of
set deadlines for ourselves for no reason.
Yuri keeps writing 30-page scripts.
Yeah, the next script is 30 pages, guys. Sorry.
Fun.
No, it's
I
not.
know.
I was just about 20 pages through it when I got on here.
Yeah.
Still working my way through.
I haven't sent it to the rest of you yet.
That's just the first act, right?
Really,
That's
3D?
right. Yeah. It's a feature film.
And something that was so wild that Allie and I talked about on our Eat Lunch with Us is that it just so happened that the release of our first episode coincided with the release of her new album, just like it did 3 years ago when those releases weird. Lined up, which is kind of...
I mean, that was fully planned, right?
Cycles are long.
Landed a little bit in my mind just without thinking about it. I was like, I really can't put this album out for like at least as long as it takes for Binge to figure their episode
shit out.
Now,
like, I'm gonna give them 3 years.
So every 3 years, we're gonna make a new Binge thing, and Allie's gonna release an album.
Yeah.
It's like for the rest of our lives.
Like Bingehood.
That's right. Yeah.
Dashel, do you want to talk a little bit about the nightmare that's been editing? I guess Justin too, because you've been color correcting, editing all of this iPhone footage. How different the behind the scenes experience has been for you two on this side?
I mean, it's definitely been a fascinating process, and also just like working with you all to like get the actual footage, right? Like just the like technical hurdles we've all been working through of like trying to upload via Dropbox and whatever else, like texting each other files and like everything shot over phone and just like getting it all in one place. But I mean, I'll also say we are just incredibly spoiled by the tech that we have on hand. Like the fact that we're even able to do this is pretty remarkable. It doesn't come easy, but it's amazing that like under these conditions, we've been able to put together episodes of a series.
Yeah, and it looks pretty good. Like it's visually, I mean, there's some scenes that look worse than others, but it's actually like...
Yeah. I definitely think the second episode's going to edit smoother because we didn't really take into account that we're editing just all the phones shoot different types of video. So I don't mean to get all tech geeky here, but it's been really difficult having it like play well together. So now we're converting all the footage to be the same footage when I color correct, so it'll be like much smoother.
Yeah, the day before launch,
what was
sorry,
that?
go ahead. I was just gonna say the day before launch, we were trying to export for 12 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
Stayed up till 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That was fun.
It was
Yeah, that's a fun little behind the scenes fact for all the fans. For the first episode, we were basically up until like, was it like 2-3 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a lot worse, honestly.
Yeah. And then I woke up at 6 to watch it and make sure that it had all uploaded correctly. And I also anxiety drank a fair amount of wine the night before, so I had a really bad hangover.
Yeah. Yeah, it was up till 3,
I was like,
and then
I hate everything.
Went to bed, got about 3 hours of sleep because I also got up at like 6:30 because I wanted to check that it exported. And I noticed there was like one little thing no one else would probably notice, but I was like, I want to fix that. And I tried to like export it again, but it didn't work. But nobody can tell. I'm not going to tell you what was wrong because you're never going to know. But,
I know, I want to know.
Guys, there are some questions. I'm just going to quickly.
Yeah. So this is a question we've been getting a lot. The quarantine series is not a continuation of the pilot, right? Because Angela went back to the clinic at the end. Yuri, I'm going to kick that over to you.
It is like sort of a continuation in that like it happens after the pilot. So Frodo obviously exists in the world. There's stuff in the middle, obviously, that happened that we haven't seen. So we're just sort of assuming there's been months in between. It hasn't been 3 years. It's not real time, but yeah, it's TV time. So it's been a few months, and the assumption is that Angela hasn't gone to rehab.
But yeah, you'll see more of Frodo and that.
A lot more.
Yeah. So get ready, Ryan. You're not going to have a life.
we're probably not going to be able to monetize the video.
We actually aren't because because of I actually just sent this to Angela. Fun fact, YouTube won't let you monetize if there's like a bunch of different types of content, and they put like eating disorders with like pedophilia and
oh my god.
Yeah, about things that you can't like.
That's usually how I group them in my head. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Things that aren't advertiser safe. Yeah.
Oh, that's maddening.
Pretty
good. Murder, pedophilia, education on eating disorder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I just saw that today.
We also got who wrote the voicemail. It's so funny, especially the caption. That was a 3-prong effort.
It was.
Yeah. So I think I wrote the original line, and then
I just like speech to text converted it. Yeah.
Yeah, Dash
then
did
Ryan,
A lot of fun. That's
Ryan,
probably my favorite gag in the entire episode.
yeah. And then Ryan
we were
worked
on the
his
fence about
improv
whether we
magic.
wanted to have it in there or not, because it's like it's a little distracting to hear the voicemail and also read it at the same time, but it is easily my favorite gag.
Yeah, we kept trying to decide if we should take it out, and then we just forgot to make a decision. And so it just stayed in, and ended up being one of the funnier bits. And yeah, Ryan improvised the last part of it, the miss you, that whole bit.
Yes, the best part of the whole.
Yeah.
Again, Ryan improvised the best part of the episode.
No. That was just the joke you guys set up with the love you. Love you, didn't mean to say. I mean, that was the whole crux of my fucking dumbass calling and blowing it anyway. Right? I mean, right?
Take a compliment, Ryan. Jeez.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And a mustache.
You take it back. You're not brilliant. It's cool.
Yeah, I think there was also very much a choice in that like the ending as written was so heavy that it was nice to kind of like emotionally like lighten things up a little bit and bring it back.
Yeah. Originally, just to take it back, we were gonna make just like one little like short that took place in the Binge world. And then Angela was like, what if we make it a few small shorts? Because it was just like a lot of stuff.
I said small, a few small shorts is what I said.
Like, and it was like, great, I've got 3 30-page scripts for it.
Yuri turns it into The Irishman.
Yeah, seriously.
It's just, there's just so much story to tell in Binge. And also we've been waiting 3 years to tell all these jokes. So there's just so much to do. And like once we start revisiting it, I mean, the scene with Frodo and Angela in the next episode is like 10 minutes long, and we're gonna cut it down. But it's like there's just so much fun to have with these
funny
characters.
though. I love that scene so much. It's so funny.
It's really fun.
Your guys' improv was just so freaking great around that whole thing. It took me like 2 solid days just to get a rough cut together of that scene, but it was so good. I was enjoying like every freaking second.
I was just looking at that episode and I was scrubbing through and I'm like, wow, this scene is like 80% of this episode. It's so long.
Yeah, it's a long scene.
But yeah, so we ended up deciding to do 3 episodes into a full mini series. And I think we all weren't really sure the first episode. When we first watched the rough cut, we were like, I don't think we pulled it off.
Yeah, I was like, what have we done? Why have we done?
Yeah, what should we?
Why have we done?
Why have we done? And then me and Dash edited over Zoom, which is really weird. And
which again, going back to like the tech thing, it's crazy that even worked.
Yeah.
You know? Like it went surprisingly smoothly, aside from the occasional hiccups of like we couldn't hear anything or the call would just drop or it's definitely not ideal, but the fact that it even worked is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean it was surprisingly good. And then we didn't know if you guys would like it, because I mean there are some comments where people are like, I waited 3 years for this.
Yeah, I saw those. Those were great comments.
I mean,
like as in like I'm happy, like I waited 3 years for this, or like I waited for like a question.
Go either way.
No, it depends.
Yeah.
Okay.
It depends on the commentator.
I like it.
Huh.
I waited 3 years for this. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We should read the comments. Okay, now people want to talk about Grilliam.
Grilliam. Can I talk about Grilliam really quick? My mom.
Oh. Moms.
Yep.
My mother called me after she saw the first episode, and she was like, "Oh my God, Daniela, who is that guy? He is good looking." And I was like, "Mom, that's Angela's boyfriend." "Oh wow." And that was that.
That was the conversation.
Yep.
And married lady. Married for like 40-something years to my dad. So congratulations.
If you and Angela don't work out, you could always
you could be my dad.
No, you could date Daddy's mom.
Dad has a mustache. He is like probably like half your size. My father's like 5'6", 5'5". We're not tall people. But like you have a mustache, so there's that. Just get a little tan. You would look just like my father.
Yeah.
So actually, I think part of the reason why this episode ended up being a real episode is because Mark lived with Angela. Like I think if we were going to have to do calls the whole time, it would have been kind of like, I think these would have been really short episodes. But because he lived with her and we knew he was an actor, but we didn't know if he was a good actor.
That was really nice of you. You're right.
Yeah.
You said something that was like, oh, I guess he's all right. God, that would have sucked if he was terrible.
I mean, it was a real risk.
I think he was legitimately worried.
I know you were. Which is...
I mean, so Mark, aside from being an actor, also has his own business where he coaches actors for auditions and does classes and stuff. So my assumption was, surely you at least are marginally okay.
Terrible.
Yeah. But then we ended up writing you a bunch. So I was like,
yeah.
Well, I like that you trolled me a little bit with the whole thing, because it's like this. It's pretty true to form for me. Like, what am I gonna do to like stay sane right now?
He's been gardening a lot, and he's been building things. We went and looked for grills the other week.
Yeah.
You gonna grill?
Nice.
Did the name give you an idea?
I don't know.
He couldn't decide on a grill.
Stall up here turning around.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys, what was it like shooting each other and doing that stuff together? Was that wild to do, or?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a different shooting experience when you're,
I think I get really panicked when, so it wasn't just learning technology for this shoot. I was teaching a college course that transitioned to online, and I teach piano lessons that transition to online all at the same time. And so it was like a perfect storm of all of my technology not working. So I was not in my best form emotionally when I was trying to.
You were fine.
I was really stressed about all the technology for the first couple weeks.
I think like everybody, right?
Yeah.
And I was like just unemployed for the first, time in my life ever, because of this stuff. So I was like freaking out too. So
it was interesting to be working on a project when we're all legitimately managing what this is like while working on this project, and there's been like peaks and valleys in what we're experiencing during all of this. But one of the scenes, I think we had just had a fight before, and that's why I think it was
we
good.
had for like the first 3 weeks, we had like a fight count on our mirror.
Yeah, we were counting how many fights.
How bad is this gonna be? like a calendar to get out.
Yeah.
But no, we've it's been fun, but it's also, there's been moments where
that it's been stressful. Yeah.
Well, and things don't work out, and then you guys have to go back and you reshot the bedroom scene like 3-4 times.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's intense. Because it's one thing shooting something as a couple, but then you have director and DP and all this that are on set kind of running interference, and you break it up, and then you do the painful stuff and it's done. It's intense when there's none of that and you have to do it multiple times.
I think you're hitting it there, because I think there was one time we did it, and I was like, I sure hope he already likes that one.
I was like, yell at him, not at me.
It's an interesting part of the process and kind of a double-edged sword. Like, on the one hand, it's really easy to get pickups, but on the other hand, we're like constantly filming then. Because we did that several times for the first step, where we were kind of like, oh, like this moment isn't working. We need to go back and kind of like get something to like get us there. So it's like nice to be able to do that, but then we're also in this process where we're all just like constantly like adapting and revising.
Like kind of a never-ending hamster wheel with it a little bit.
Yeah, because you can reshoot. It's like, oh, let's just go do it quickly, and then it takes it's annoying sometimes. Someone keeps asking, so I'm gonna have to ask Ryan this question. They want to know where Frodo put the food that Angela spits out of her mouth into your hand in the pilot.
He ate it.
I ate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I ate it
like he's masturbating later on,
like a little baby bird.
No.
You don't want to let it go to waste.
Yeah.
No.
It was very cute. It's how we became friends.
No.
It was the first time you guys met when you shot that.
Yeah.
So
and we're like, we're gonna cram you into this office, and I'm gonna sexually harass you. Nice to meet you.
Like, I have a vague memory of like us, because it was a cramped set. Honestly, I have a vague memory of holding out my hand and be like, all right, let's do another, give it to me, I'll just get rid of it. And I think I took it from you and just threw it away or something.
And knowing Justin, he still has it in like an old pair of jeans.
Yeah. It's mutated that grown sentience. It's now a living creature.
I framed it.
That scene was really interesting. I mentioned this when you guys were doing the Instagram thing, because when you guys first did it, we did like one angle and it was just like something wasn't working, and then we did like another angle and something wasn't working, and then we did the wide shot, and then like you guys just found it somehow. I think you were just improvising at some point, and then there was like we found this relationship, and then we went back and reshot everything, the other angles.
Yeah,
because
that's right.
and, it's like,
and then we ran out of light. I remember we were just like rushing, and we were at this lone theater, and I think they needed it, and they were like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the wide shot, because I think like your characters have to work off each other in a way that everyone else doesn't necessarily. Like you guys are like always overlap. Like you have to react off each other in a way that you don't necessarily with other actors.
And Angela is really good up right out the gates. Like you've got a good full life in whatever you're doing, and it feels there's like an honesty to it. And then for me, it takes me a while to kind of get warm.
Sometimes it takes you weeks.
Yeah, sometimes weeks.
Yeah.
Or never, you know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But then she just keeps like rising it up to the, and then it just drags me up. Yeah.
Well, Angela, how much of your character is character, and then how much is you, and then like?
Well, Mark made a really good point after like watching the old, because he's new to the Binge universe. He wasn't a part of. We weren't in each other's lives when we shot the other stuff. So he was watching it and like watching the new stuff, and he's like, oh, this is, you're clowning. Like she's your clown in like that traditional sense of.
Well, explain. Yeah, explain that.
I mean, we would always like in schooling, for clowns, you would take a part of yourself that is like your biggest weakness or something like that, and you would just amp it up way beyond a 10, and that's how you would come in to a scene. And that becomes your clown. It's your biggest strength, your biggest weakness, all this stuff. So then when I saw it, I was like, oh, you're taking this thing and you're just like amplifying it way beyond what you normally do. And it's really fascinating to watch. Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's like some truth that's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely when we first met you, like 10 years ago, you were probably much closer to this character than you are now.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost hard to see that Angela in current you.
Yeah, which is probably.
You were,
I mean, you probably mostly see it, right? Because like part of healing from any sort of addiction is you don't change who you are, your nature is, right? But you take the way that you cope and you kind of reassess it. So now, Yuri, as my writing partner, you see it when I get really intense and manic about the work. It's like kind of moved over there, I think. I don't know.
We all see it. We don't need to be your writing partner. But we love you nonetheless.
But yeah, so yeah.
Someone asked how we all met. Boy, in different ways. So I know Dashiell since high school.
Yep.
And we sort of started making things together. Like the first thing I ever made was with Dash, just these like silly sketches and things.
Yeah, well, the overpopulated quartet.
Yeah, we had a sketch troupe
back in the day.
Yeah, it's called Overpopulated Quartet because there's 5 of us. I still love that name. I think that's
pretty great. Yeah.
Classic Yuri joke.
Yeah. And then I met Justin and Daniela in college. And then me and Justin decided to shoot one of, I started getting into playwriting, and I published a few plays, and I was like going to be a playwright, and Justin was like, let's make one of your plays into a movie. And so we
shot it. We made it. The entire movie.
We made it. And Dash was in college away from us for some of it. And then I forget if you did production. You did some of the production, right? Or were you mostly away?
For like a few of the shoots, and then I was mostly involved in the post of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you were there definitely for Claudio's, for the detectives like set built, right?
Yes. Yeah, because that was built. Yeah. We built a random, like a giant set in my mom's old office, basically.
We were like 19. Like it was, we were like, let's make a feature film.
Didn't Justin, you were going to Italy and you almost missed your flight. I remember because you were filming the morning of your flight, and you like with your ex-girlfriend, you got a phone call and she was like, you have to come home right now. I remember that. It was when we were.
Oh, right. Was that when we were shooting in the Embarcadero
Yeah,
and I had
we were
like
at the
food
Embarcadero.
poisoning and
We've
I
been shooting
ended
for a
up
long
like
time
walking
together.
through San Francisco like deliriously sick and I threw up on
Yeah,
the sidewalk?
you took like you were drinking like you drank 4 Red Bulls or
Well, we were shooting like 24 hours a day,
Yeah,
and I had a full-time job, and I was in college.
Yeah.
I love the specificity of this memory.
I remember in the Embarcadero and using the Kesslet's old like camera crane we had, and we were shooting, and I was like, "Hold on."
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm good. Let's roll. And then
Justin has not changed much in the last
this
16
sounds like
years.
Justin, I know.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
And then we met Angela because she acted in one of our friends' movies.
Yeah, I met Justin first.
I shot the trailer.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
we met Ryan
through Justin.
Yeah.
Yep. We shot with Lily.
Lily Singh, and
Right?
she's doing great. Yeah.
Yeah, she's having a career, isn't she?
Yeah, she's way more famous than the rest of us. Yeah.
What's wrong with the rest of us? And then we met.
I mean, we have our own what?
We met Allie then through. We talked about this the other day, Allie. I met you through Lindsay and John when we were looking for. I wanted a female rapper when we were putting the edit together, and it was like your music was designed for what we were trying to do.
Lindsay and John, and God, I don't know why, but I feel like there was a third person, wasn't there?
There might have been.
It was just so like weirdly universally plugged in. It was all of a sudden like all people were like, oh, tagged me on this one post, and I was just like, hey.
And it really, I mean, like that music makes Binge. Like it sounds like when we did the first pass of this, we hadn't put your music in yet, and then when we started putting it in, it was like, oh, okay, there's Binge. Like it's like just part of the. It's so funny because. Sorry, what did you say?
Oh, I was gonna say people are nuts for. Anytime I show it to somebody, they immediately zero in on your music and ask about it, and without hesitate, it always happens.
Yeah.
It's a very funny mix of music because it's the same 3 musicians in all the things we made. It's Allie, my brother, who does like some of like folky songs, and then Emma Fitzpatrick, who does like the kind of like old style
lounge singing, jazzy kind of. Yeah.
And it's like 3 completely different styles, but somehow it makes like the Binge soup.
I think that the most powerful moment musically in the pilot was with the whipped cream. I'm not sure who did that song, but that moment like
where she's making the cake.
Oh yeah.
My brother's song, the Never Met song. It's, I mean, and it's like, again, it's like somehow.
That was a hard scene to put music for. Remember us going back and like trying so many different songs?
Yeah.
With that scene?
Yeah. And it's. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask Allie if she's ever thought about. Have you ever thought to score like a whole movie or something? Is that something that you would do to where you'd watch it and work with the director and then write the music based on what that is, what the project is?
Yeah, I actually had my first opportunity to do that this past year. So it was about a year ago now that I got in touch with this, one of my coworkers. I work at this bar. One of my coworkers is an actor, and he was putting together a pilot, a fan pilot for like a Constantine series. And they asked me, and I asked them, I was like, do you guys want to do some music? I'll put something together. And I worked up a lot of music for them. In fact, I made like 5 or 6 songs that we didn't even use. And they're still just kind of sitting here with no lyrics or vocals or anything, but they're all like really like dark and moody and spacey and like really good for just like sort of a brooding TV project. But then they ended up using, and it was another like 25-minute pilot. So that was, and it was because I did Binge that I was inspired. I was like, I got to get in more TV stuff. That's like, I want to be making, cause like sometimes when you get in line with like the producers and with the creative side of it, and everybody knows, what that vibe is. And once you build that vibe and the theme, like actually making music for the project is freakishly easy. And so fun. Cause we're just like, you can, like if you're making it from scratch for the project and you have the video in front of you, you can build those beats and make things plunk right on top of it. And you can do weird stuff with, we're inside the club now, or now we're outside the club, you know what I mean? And like you could do cool stuff that you might otherwise do with like the sound mixer or whatever. But, the music cues can be, so I feel like that's kind of that would be sort of my binge goal with you guys would be to once it starts like flowing like more evenly, and then once you've used up this movie night palette we've got here, I've got all kinds of cool stuff that I hadn't even used. I made 25 songs for this album and I only put 12 on it. So like there's a ton of music that's just sitting there waiting to be pillaged for.
Awesome.
I'll send it to us.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so we've all and then Mark, we're all dating.
Yeah, we're all dating.
He was just at Angela's house when this whole thing started. So
yeah. Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
More mustache love on the chat here.
So much stuff.
Yeah.
It's polarizing though. At least people are talking about it, good or bad. They're talking about it, and that's the key.
All press is good press.
Yeah. You've had it for a long time. I looked at our fundraiser video that we did like 16 years ago or whenever we made it.
16.
I grew like a full beard and then went back to it.
You just can't quit it.
Yeah, I couldn't quit the mustache. The fundraiser, I had that, and then I just like grew it into like a whole beard. But there's so much gray in my beard, I just felt like like fucking Santa. So then I was like, all right, I'm gonna go back just to the mustache because I got a lot of face. So if I go nothing, it's a lot of face. I'm like the Mac Tonight, like the Big Mac Tonight, the movie that used to sell Big Macs. But then that guy got adopted as an alt-right mascot.
Where are we going? What?
Yeah, what's happening? This conversation. We started from.
That moon guy that would play the piano for McDonald's commercials.
I hate to be the jerk here, but I have to go back to work.
Oh, you're a jerk.
How dare you?
Yeah, you're a real jerk.
Good behavior.
Well,
believe me, I would love to be on this call forever.
you'll be on the next call because we're gonna try to do this every time, the week after.
I will be on the next call. That's totally what I want to do. Just we have a lot of Chanel requests going through. And my phone.
Yes,
okay.
Who do we have here?
Bye, Donnie. Thank you.
Bye, Donnie.
Okay, bye. How do I leave? Okay, bye.
Bye. Don't make it awkward. Bye.
Look at that little pups.
It's a little strawberry toothfish.
Oh, those ears are so cute.
Oh my gosh.
They do all kinds of things. They go up and they go backward.
Ryan, you got a puppy recently too?
I got a puppy, yeah. So
all right, everybody bring their animals.
I'll see if I can get her really quick. Hold on. She's super little.
Euphemism, the way Justin said.
Stand by.
Bring out your animals.
Ryan doesn't want to like wake his puppy, and I'm like, they sleep all the time. You can just it doesn't matter.
That's all they do is eat and sleep, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like it's fine.
Yuri, someone said in the comments that they remember you from the skipping breakfast.
That wasn't a sketch. That was a pitch for a Burger King commercial that we did, and we did that like 10 years ago, and we still really love it, so we keep it on our website as a sample.
Dash did all the VFX on that.
Yeah, it's a really fun little.
For how long ago we made that, it still weirdly holds up.
Especially that bird that's flying on fire.
That's on fire.
Yep, that was my favorite random detail.
Oh, Dewey.
Dewey's. I don't want to body shame him, but he is really enjoying.
Oh my god.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, Dewey. Been overshadowed.
Wow, that is a cute doggy.
Oh man.
Oh. No.
Puppers.
This is gonna be the rest of this live chat.
Oh my god, that is a cute dog.
The rest of the time we'll just be staring.
Yeah.
You know, Ryan, I'm gonna write that dog into the final episode.
All right. Yeah, she'll do it.
Okay. Is she funny or?
No.
Yeah.
She's a real hack.
It's good timing.
Oh my god.
Said what are the dogs' names? You know ours. Ours is Dewey.
Allie, what's your dog's name?
This is strawberry tuna fish.
Oh.
Good combo.
Or tuna for short.
Tuna.
This is Delphi.
Delphi.
Delphi. I think. I mean, that's what the adoption place named her, and then we just been saying it. So it's
She
tough.
is so cute.
Yeah. I don't know.
My
what
dog is aloof, so I can't bring her over.
No, yeah, Penny's withholding.
Yeah, her name is Penny Lane.
Aw.
She's very cute.
That's great.
Give a picture of her.
I'm gonna put a picture of her up.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go put her back. Say
Yeah.
bye. Say bye.
Bye,
Bye,
Delphi.
Tuna, you're
Oh,
pretty too.
Yeah,
I like
Tuna's so cute.
We actually just adopted another little Chihuahua, and he was 8 months old, and his name is Tito Ortiz, and he's amazing. But and then something went wrong with the foster paperwork. We had to give him back, and now we're like
Very nice, Justin.
in wait for like a month plus. So cross your
Get
fingers.
it back. Oh.
Cross your fingers that we get our Tito.
Oh. Oh, Penny.
Great.
It looks like a headshot.
Photo.
Yeah.
Like a wicked smile right there.
This is her headshot. She,
Yeah.
Animals. I only have cats.
Yeah.
Good luck getting those on screen.
Yeah.
Ryan, here's my dog. Oh, you saw my dog. It doesn't matter.
Ryan, your dog was so cute. I made it my background. Ryan, yeah.
Oh, we got a question about the name, our name, the story behind HLG Studios.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what is that from?
It's not like a great story. We
Not
were
a
just
great
trying to.
story, unfortunately. Yeah.
No, we were just trying to think of something. So me, Justin, and Dashiell and my brother run the company, and we were throwing around names, and my brother was like, I don't know where he pulled it out from, but Happy Little Guillotine Studios was his idea. And we were like, yeah.
We felt like it fit because it just kind of meshed with our dark comedy style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that is a great story behind it was that the reason we came up with that name was also partially because we wanted to change our original production company name, which was Late Again Films.
Yeah.
But it was
We
too
decided
accurate
that
to what we
probably
really
wasn't
were.
the most
so.
professional thing to be called.
Yeah. Yeah, we were so late so often. We were like, this seems.
Yeah,
You gave people too much like, huh, you live up to your name, huh?
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So that's the story. Yeah. The lyrics to Runaway. I'll ask my brother to post them. I think you could do it on Spotify. I don't know. I'll see how to do that.
Dash will write them up on Dash.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dash will put you autocorrect.
Yeah. Only if I can do the gibberish speech.
That's what I mean. Yeah, the gibber.
Yeah.
I noticed Angela just left, which is weird.
Yep.
Food.
You're hungry.
Yeah, I need some food.
Wow.
Yuri, did you answer the question about Runaway?
Yeah, I said I'll ask my brother to. I was actually we have the subtitles up, and I paid like a service to do it, and and they'll transcribe the lyrics to the song, and there was one part that I'm like, I don't think that's it, but then I listened to it 1,000 times. I'm like, I don't know what he's saying, so I have to ask my brother. I think they got all of your lyrics right, Allie, but maybe check it if you have a moment. Yeah.
Oh, even this.
But yeah, so we have the next episode's coming out next Friday, next Friday.
Yeah, a week from today. And we're gonna do another live premiere.
Yeah. Should we do a mug thing again? That was fun. Should we do another
mug contest?
Mug contest?
Why not? We're gonna have some new ones soon too.
Yep, we're gonna have
new
mugs
mugs.
Up in our mug library.
That we had to pay a lot of money for to make sure we get them in time in this pandemic.
Yeah. Someone asked how much did everyone know about eating disorders before doing Binge?
Not a thing.
I didn't know anything. I mean, I knew like people who had them, but I didn't know anything in any detailed way.
I mean, I knew they were a thing.
Yeah.
I would.
Ryan's mustache used to have an eating disorder.
Mm-hmm.
It was my. Yeah.
This guy struggled. His mustache. He has to eat though. What are you gonna do? You know.
Right.
Otherwise, he'll die.
Or otherwise he'll die.
Yeah.
I had an ex-girlfriend that I lived with in college that was bulimic and had a really bad time with it, and it was really weird. I think Angela and I have talked about this, but we were living together, and I had just the relationship. We were just kind of, it's kind of ending as relationships do sometimes, and right when that was happening, it flared back up for her, and so I didn't feel right just Bailey, I didn't want her to think that that was why I was leaving, getting out of this relationship. And so we kind of stuck in there, but I felt really powerless, and I wanted to help and didn't know how to help. And, we didn't, you don't have any money when you're in college. And so we're kind of using what was available at the university and some support groups and stuff. So I learned like a little bit, but nowhere near the level that we got into on the show. And after the show, where we talked to all those therapists and counselors and all that stuff, which was really helpful. Right. But yeah, so just kind of having that personal experience with it and just really feeling like, man, there's nothing I can say. I can't compliment her out of this, which is kind of you feel like you could, if you could just say the right thing, make somebody feel secure. But it's people
it's hard to be partnered with someone when they're in the thick of it.
Yeah. It was a wild experience, but that was my real only kind of, and it was pretty anecdotal.
Yeah. But you did a lot of research on sex addicts.
Yeah.
For the pilot.
So we've mentioned this before, but Ryan's phone call in the original pilot is fully improvised. It wasn't even in the script. Ryan just showed up after, I think, reading a bunch of stuff about like sex disorders, and then he was like, can I just do this thing I have an idea for? And it's one of my favorite parts of that episode, actually. So.
Same.
That was really fun, and I love that you guys let me do it. I was thinking about it again because I randomly read this this biography on Tiger Woods, of all people. I don't play golf. I'm not into golf. I remember Tiger Woods was great and had the scandal and all that kind of stuff. But I heard these two guys that wrote the book on NPR, and they were talking about the book and how they kind of got all the information together and writing it, and whether or not they were going to pull any punches or how real they were going to be. I guess they're these two guys. They used to write for Sports Illustrated, and they might have written another book that people really liked and got some attention for. But anyway, they were so compelled by them on this radio thing they did. I read the Tiger Woods book, and I got some crazy insight into sex addiction from that, to the point to when he was suffering, because Tiger Woods was really textbook and suffering from it. He had very powerful agents, managers, and reps behind him that were saying to him, look, you are being followed right now by the National Enquirer, because we have access to all these other different media publications and you're so valuable. We're basically saying like, hey, National Enquirer's more powerful parent magazine, we'll give you an exclusive interview if you don't run all these stories about Tiger Woods in, having adulterous affairs. And so they agreed to it, but they're like, they're following you and we can only do this for so long. You will get caught. Stop. And he absolutely could not stop. Dangerous people in his home. I mean, the same way you would if you were addicted to drugs. And so then he went to this institute, like this, I guess institute's the right word, I don't know, to deal with the sex addiction. And he had to do this huge confessional for his wife where he confessed everything. They've changed it now. You used to have to do every indiscretion you've ever had. You have to sit with them and expose it.
That seems really unkind to the partner.
It is. It is. And it was too much. Like none of these
scenario.
Yeah. None of these relationships would survive. It was abuse for both parties. And so they've changed it. But he did that with her and left one out because it was like a neighbor's kid or something who was of age, but it couldn't have been worse. And then that lady eventually went to the press, and that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back for their relationship. But just, in hearkening back to the powerless conversation from earlier, but just how powerless this guy was to where he would risk his family, his, $1 billion franchise and career. He just couldn't stop. He could not stop. It's completely spinning out.
Yeah, and I think like just your improv also, like it made your relationship to Angela make sense. I think what we always said was that if Frodo has a sex addiction, Angela is sex to him. Like she is the main source.
So they're like addiction. The worst people to find each other.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Which makes sense.
And then my angle too was that I really am taken by her and love her. So am I just acting out on my compulsive disorder, or do I really feel for this person, and how can I separate the two feelings?
Right. And she's so abusive to you, but
Right.
you're just like, and you're just like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Hollywood.
Just editing like
Let
the
us make
scene
it.
that's going to be in the second episode, it's such a fascinating dynamic to kind of feel out, because there's so much going on where it's like this sort of abusive relationship where you're also like enjoying each other, like, and it's just like there's such a duality and juxtaposition that is just like fascinating to watch.
Yeah. 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 There's so many different ways to approach it, and like, yeah, I mean, you guys gave us a wealth of material in that one scene that we did. I'm excited to show that the second episode for that scene, because I think it's so fun.
Yeah,
I came up with a lot of mustache jokes that I'm proud of for that.
Yeah, there's quite a few of those in there.
Yeah.
I love them. I love them all, man. Hey, any mustache talk is good talk.
Yeah. That's what they say.
That's on Ryan's business card.
Free rides. I was gonna say, I love that you guys. I love the way it looks. I told maybe Dashiell and Yuri and Angela, but there was some really interesting things you guys did where you were able to make it cinematic, where you kind of honor what you were trying to do and show that, look, this is just shot on people's phones and computers and everything, but there are some tricks you did where you're shooting into a mirror, where you're able to get both people in frame, and then that looked great. And then the aerial shots of LA and all that stuff, to where it gives it some scale, where you're like, oh wow, this actually can be cinematic, but not ever cheat. Like, it really is this kind of found thing to where people are interacting in this weird way we all fucking have to interact now.
Right. Yeah, we wanted to like we sort of specifically made the distinction that everything outside is shot by Justin, so it's shot professionally and looks beautiful. And if you notice, Angela doesn't leave the house ever, so it's like there's this like separation of this like self-shot thing, and this beautiful kind of lonely outside world that's happening simultaneously. But yeah, I mean, it's been weird to direct and to shoot remotely, and it's like it's just hard to give direction and hard to know what's in their house and hard to but that mirror scene specifically, that was all you, Justin. I don't think I was even there for that.
For the fight between Grilliam and Angela.
Yeah.
I mean, although Angela's got pretty good instincts on her shots, though, so I can't definitely take all the credit for some of the clever shots, because she just knows how to do it.
Like you actually, Angela, the shot where you put the phone down, I don't know if that was accidental or not, and you see the mirror, like, it's really well done. Like, it looks good.
Because it looks cinematic, but it also looks accidental.
Yeah.
And that combo is really hard to write that line, to make it look good, but also make it not look forced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It took a while. I like outlined a spot on the, how to. Yeah, I'm gonna need more of your help for episode 3, though, Justin.
Okay. I might want to ship you some light bulbs, because I really want the quality of the light I want to up it a little bit. I don't know if that's gonna continuity error or something like that, because all these lights are LEDs. Natural light, every house lights are LED lights now, and they aren't the most pleasing to the skin as, say, like older tungsten light bulbs. So
bulbs and stuff.
Someone mentioned that they like some scenes are like really long, like they're a continuous take, and like that's we try. The hardest thing about shooting this is like, how do we make it not just Zoom calls and FaceTime, because it's so hard to watch for a long time, just two people like staring at a camera. I think we have a cool method in the second one specifically that we do that's like different than the first episode, but like the continuous things is one way. What'd you say? If we can get it to work, yeah.
There's two things I want. Number one, is Tungsten also the name of the mascot from AM/PM? That's just all that different food there. What's that guy's name?
Oh, I know you're talking. No, his name is it's not Tungsten. It's the guy who's like made up of food.
Yeah, it's made up of food. It's something like Tungsten.
You're right. It sounds like that. It is a weird random ththing. I do know what you're talking about. Okay. Now I need to find out what that's called.
Thank God somebody does. And then number two, what I was going to say was, so you wrestle. You guys are talking about wrestling with doing this, and then people are saying, oh, 3 years and then this, and you're like, oh, this is just something that we're doing during quarantine to keep the story going, whatever, and all this kind of shit. But I like the approach. I was thinking about Steven Soderbergh, who just makes stuff. You know, it's like he'll do like a big studio kind of movie, but then he also shot that one on iPhone. You know, he'll just do whatever it is, and like he just consistently makes stuff. He'll do it for direct to video. He did the Mosaic one with Sharon Stone. That was kind of this interactive with the audience for HBO, and released that on multiple platforms. But he's never, you know, he's never not creating or doing things, and that's why I like that. It was just like, oh, great. So this is. We got phones, we got computers, we got this. We can make this look beautiful. We can, you know, get some good act. We can get some good music, and put this shit
I like
out.
to think of us as like kind of like we're all Steven Soderbergh without studio films or money, or anybody caring who we are. So
it's really great because of just how many FaceTimes and Zoom calls and people I have it's like that. I just keep having this conversation over and over again with everybody, like about, you know, the COVID weather in the world that we're living in and everything. And for that first month of March, April kind of thing, it was just like, I got sick of everything I was watching on TV. I was like, could somebody just make something that has something to do with what we're all experiencing right now? And then I remember when I got y'all's email and it was like, we're doing this thing and it's like Zoom calls and I was like, okay, first of all, how? And then, but second of all, it's Binge. So it's going to be awesome. And I like have zero doubt about that. It's going to be entertaining and funny. And then when I watched it, I was like, yes, I'm both of them. Yes, all of this. It was really good. It was such a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, I think it's because we're all experiencing it. It's like, it's. I also really like. I to me, it feels like the original pilot is, you know, a TV show or whatever. But these feel somehow way more personal. Like you get to be inside their house with them instead of seeing the things we're shooting, and it's kind of weird and really like voyeuristic feeling sometimes.
It almost feels like this is like the additional content that you would create after you've created a big polished series, and they're like, oh, let me go find that found footage thing, or oh, what are they doing with phones, or how can we make this interactive, or how can we do something? But it's like just because of the current state of things, it's like you had to go that direction first, and that's kind of brilliant, honestly.
Yuri, do you see any of these techniques sticking? As in, like, when all this is over, and if, say, we shoot more episodes of Binge, do you think more, like, phone footage, or just, you know, not, like, for the entire episode, but, like, cut to something?
Maybe.
Yeah. Also,
are we making more Binge?
That's it.
Better be making more.
His name is Tungus.
Tungus.
Got it.
I'm so glad we got to the bottom of that.
Yeah. Very important.
There you go.
That is terrifying.
How did that pass through so many levels of like, yeah, go out with Tungus.
Yeah.
Tungus. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But it's also a testament to the actors, I think, that, you know, we pulled it off, because I think you really, and I'm talking about everyone other than me, you really see the acting in this like much more than you would in a professional, in a more like in a slicker shot thing. This is so in your face that like anything false, I think, would read much faster. So I think it's and by the way, it's a lot of these scenes we're shooting without actually looking at each other, because what we're essentially doing is we're recording a video on our phone and listening after a rehearsal where we do it normally. But and it's, for me, it's very difficult. I find it, and I have a real issue with it. It's like really unnerving.
You feel like a fucking crazy person.
You feel like a crazy person. Yeah.
You've got the other person right there for you, and you're just like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yuri had to watch me. He's like, Ryan, you're darting all over the place.
Right. Because we have two cameras set up so we can see. Yeah. And so Ryan would look at the wrong camera periodically.
Yeah.
I find it really difficult, and I think you guys pull it off really well. But
well,
like
I never listen to anyone when I act. I don't look at them. I don't.
You're selfish actors. I think that's the key here.
Actor, so for me, it's preferred.
Yeah. You could act with anyone as long as you just get to say lines. Like you don't care.
Yeah, I specifically requested. I'm going to just shoot my side and send it to you, and I'm not going to.
Even on set, you have to have all the actors leave.
Yeah, I have to leave.
Yeah.
Never Angela's shoulder we're shooting over. She's if we don't see her face, she's not there.
She's not there. Yeah, she's in her.
Another famous Angela Lansbury.
Oh yeah. Wait, what?
Oh, I was just gonna say another famous the Angela Lansbury murder she wrote. She famously would just like a tennis ball, and like she was one take Jake. They had her for like 2 hours. She would do her whole thing, and then everybody else in the series would have to be like right to like a tennis ball, you know. Yeah,
That's amazing.
What did you
I find it really hard in like the scenes with you and Daniela, especially like the emotional ones. I'm like, it's impressive that you guys are so believable and honest when you're just staring at your own faces when you do those scenes. It's
We're selfish. I mean,
you're just selfish actors.
and I will speak for Donnie as well.
All right, I have to personally go because we're running behind on this whole episode writing situation.
I know we should probably communally say goodbye because it's been about an hour.
Yep.
And I don't know if anyone's watching anymore.
30 people.
Got a few stragglers.
30 people.
We're gonna release the next episode next Friday unless something catastrophic happens, which it may.
And we're gonna do a premiere again. So be on the lookout. Make sure you're subscribed to HOG here. And be on the lookout for for that premiere link so you can set a reminder so you can be with us. We had 500 people for episode 1.
I think it got close to like 1,000 near like the middle of it.
Really?
Yeah, it was cool. And so we'll do the same thing. Everyone who shows up for the premiere and watches it will randomly give
pick someone to
free
get a mug.
One person will get a mug. And there are new mugs coming out in episode 3. So you could, I'm not gonna say what they are, but they're pretty fun.
Yeah,
love it.
God, we should do a mustache mug too.
Somebody suggested a mustache.
We suggested that.
Comments.
Yeah, we should.
Oh yeah. We should do like all of the insults as different mugs. So many.
That's funny.
We'll be selling 45 mugs.
Yeah.
And guys, if you can, we keep saying this, but like, if you can go to the original video if you haven't yet and comment and like, we're trying to hit the. We just need more views. Yeah, amazing.
Amazing. I love it.
Yeah. One last question, Yuri. Somebody asked, my anxiety is purple. Asked, who was Frodo's hot wife? Who was in the photo?
Oh yeah, we wanted it to look we wanted the person to look kind of like Angela. So the only other redhead we knew was a friend of ours from San Francisco who is not an actress at all. She's a scientist. Now she's in nursing school, but her name is Mantissa, and she's not going to be the wife in the future. But we may never see the wife because Frodo killed her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. I just remember it was kind of awkward asking her if it's okay because we had to like tell her what was in the script. There was something like.
Oh yeah, we have to be like, yeah, so it's your face and yeah, because
it's gonna be jokes about you being dead and
yeah, there's a bunch of jokes.
And like the character like jerking off to her or something like that.
Yeah. Also, someone just thought of a really fun mug idea, and I think we should do it. It's all of the insults in the same mug, like those, those quotes mugs of like Shakespeare quotes.
Oh,
it's just all filled up around the mug.
It's just filled up with mustache jokes. Yeah. That's really fun.
That is.
When I was talking to Ryan earlier, I was like, oh, I'm bummed we didn't do some sort of joke about white guys with mustaches having a million podcasts because he has 2 podcasts.
Well, there's a whole 3rd episode.
That's perfect.
Put it on the mug.
Hey, I'm such a fucking cliche. I love it.
You're a fun cliche.
Yeah.
Hey.
Ryan seems so cool with everything, but I know that when he's home, he is upset about everything.
I primal scream. As soon as this is over, I'm going to primal scream.
You're like combing your mustache and sobbing.
Yeah.
I think it looks like
pay me for this.
I think it looks like 2 caterpillars kissing.
Oh, that's adorable.
Right? They just climbed up a hill and they're like, hi.
That's it.
Put little googly eyes on them.
Lady in the
Yeah.
Googly eyes.
Yeah.
You should definitely get googly eyes. Yeah.
What if we set
caterpillar hands too? They're like.
Yeah. Oh, so sweet.
They're building a bridge.
Yeah.
Well, I wish I could make fun of Ryan's mustache for another hour, but
I know.
I think
you're just getting rolling on it too.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, everybody make a list for the next podcast.
Yes, right.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
do.
All right.
Thanks
Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see
Bye,
you on
everybody.
Friday.
Good job,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching YouTube.
Thanks, guys.
Read your comments. They're great. Bye.
Subscribe.
Bye-bye.
Subscribe.